Biosecurity is crucial to the beef industry because a major animal disease outbreak could be devastating not only to an individual operation, but to the entire beef supply chain. So, what can you do to help protect your herd? Joining us now is Dr. Julia Herman, Beef Cattle Specialist Veterinarian at NCBA. Dr. Herman, thanks for coming to the show. And I guess first question I would ask is do you believe cattle producers are spending as much time and focus as we should on biosecurity?
You know, that's a great question, and I think it depends on the individual operation. There are a lot of things that cattle producers do on a daily basis that play into that biosecurity plan or biosecurity prevention. That's working with the veterinarian for their herd health plan, improving their vaccination program, good nutrition. All of that plays into biosecurity. Mm-hmm. So I think a lot of producers are already doing that. I think sometimes we get complacent, and I think we need to critically evaluate what we're doing on a daily basis and, you know, honestly, what can we improve? Mm-hmm. I think this is something we can always be improving upon. Mm-hmm. And so while we are doing good things now, we can always be better in the area of biosecurity.
But it's not just about producers. I mean, it's about the entire industry, and all segments really share responsibility in this. Is that correct?
Absolutely. I mean, the cattle industry is very diverse. We know that, from our small operations to our big feed yards to including the dairy industry. Mm-hmm. We have a very diverse cattle industry, and each of those sectors feed into the next one. And so how can we best prepare that animal to go into the next sector, but also how do we protect them from spreading any diseases to other animals? So that could be respiratory disease, it could be trichomoniasis during breeding season. Mm-hmm. There are things that one operation might not think is important to the next, but we always need to be thinking about where that animal is going next and how do we best protect them.
So what are some considerations that I as a producer should take into account as I develop my own biosecurity plan?
I think, so customizing that plan to whatever your operation is. Your operation is not going to be the same as somebody in Tennessee or down in Florida. Mm-hmm. Customizing it to your specific operation and really evaluating all the different risks that might be coming onto or off your farm. Mm-hmm. So that could be animal movement coming in, like your new bulls that you're bringing in. Are you quarantining them before you put them with the home herd? Do you have show animals on the property? Show animals have a higher biosecurity risk or a different biosecurity risk profile than your home herd. How do we protect your home herd from those? Different deliveries, like when you're getting your feed delivered, having all of those different industry stakeholders that are coming on and off your farm, even the mailman, you know, that can be considered a biosecurity risk. So it's really evaluating those everyday activities and what could be coming onto the farm, and how do we break up those cycles of transmission? And so are we providing coveralls to visitors? Are we providing boot covers? Is it just as simple as we keep visitors in the parking lot and we don't let them come onto the rest of the operation? So there are some practical ways that we can improve that biosecurity on the farm. And again, it just depends on what your operation, one, their goals are, but also what they're able to do, because we want it to be practical, we want it to be implementable.
Absolutely. So what are some steps that producers can take to begin building their own biosecurity plan?
Well, as we talked about, there's already steps being taken on a daily basis, but I think the big thing is working with your veterinarian in your resource group. So that could be the nutritionist, your state extension specialist, but veterinarians in particular are really trained to look at the big picture and look at all of those different biosecurity risks, not just from the health of the animal, but the health of the human. We have to keep our humans safe too. And so when we sit down and develop a herd health plan with the veterinarian, biosecurity goes hand in hand in that. And I think the other thing to think about, biosecurity doesn't work in a vacuum. I mean, it applies to herd health, it applies to an emergency action plan. A lot of these steps can be applicable to a lot of different aspects of the operation. And so BQA has a really great tool. It's called the Daily Biosecurity Plan for Disease Prevention. And it goes through 12 different areas on the operation where we can really hone in on what we're doing now. Again, what are we doing now? What are the risks that are happening now? And what can we do to better protect in that, in case a disease comes onto the operation? Again, this could be something like BRD, maybe it's scours or something like that. How do we protect our animals once that disease, either protect it from the disease even coming on, but if it is there, how do we protect your healthy animals from your sick animals?
Yeah. Thank you so much for your insight, and we'll circle back to you a little later in the show.
Thank you, Kevin.
Now, if you want to learn more about the Secure Beef Supply Plan or learn how to write a biosecurity plan that is specific to your own operation, just visit the website securebeef.org.